Hello, hello. This is Jenny Yang, and you're listening to a free and shorter version of What Should We Talk About with Jenny Yang. At the end of today's episode, paid subscribers will hear about our honest feelings about Met Gala, Anne Hathaway's look, and Blackpink Lisa's Rosa Parks undies? Okay, yeah. And more about how iconic 90s supermodel Tyson Beckford is apparently my new bestie. So consider being a paid subscriber at jennyyang.substack.com. Sure, you can listen to me wherever you pod, but you can also do that, plus watch the full episode with links and sources at jennyyang.substack.com. Keep me independent and talking my shit. And remember to get your topic out on our weekly agenda. I'm not going to edit that out. Leave a cute voicemail or text at 323-250-3589. On with the show. What should we talk about?
What should we talk about?
What should we talk about?
It is Friday, May 9th, 2025. And this is What Should We Talk About with Jenny Yang, your weekly catch-up time with smart and funny people who give a fuck, probably too many fucks. We discuss topics submitted by our guests and you, the listener. Any topic, current, old, big, small, nerdy, petty. Submit a topic. Leave a voicemail or text 323-250-3589. Because you don't want to feel like you're losing your mind, and because we long for a better world filled with fun, love, joy, and cool shit. This is What Should We Talk About with Jenny Yang. On today's agenda, number 1, podcast updates. Number 2, being a single mom. Number 3, the 75 Hard Challenge. Number 4, Shiloh Hendricks making money off of racism. Number 5, American Pope, the Conclave has chosen. Number 6, the Met Gala, and why does it matter? And number 7, action items. Number 8, show me some love. Look at that. In the studio, we have Jazmyn W. Woo! Jazmyn is a stand-up comedian, actress, and host with millions of followers and the ability to make anything funny.
Period.
Jazmyn, what do you want to shout out this week?
You know what? I want to shout out Bad Ash's Bakery in Pasadena.
Oh,
yes, it's I've been following this creator since COVID, where she was a private chef. She opened her own bakery in Pasadena. It's a Black woman. And it was so delicious. I just posted about it today on my page too. But please, if you're in Pasadena or near Pasadena, go to her bakery. You're going to stand in line, but it's totally worth it.
Bad Ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, Pasadena, in light of the Eaton fires, appropriate.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Let me write this down. So there is a section called action items, and that's where we can all write down action items we want to take given whatever we come up with today.
Okay.
So I'm going to write that down.
Write that down.
Bad
Go
Ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Ashes.
Bad Ashes.
Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Have they kind of like been all over like TikTok or like social media?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And on the other voice you're hearing is Mike Gauyo. Pew, 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 pew.
What up?
Mike is a Haitian American screenwriter whose credits include HBO's critically acclaimed series Insecure and Netflix's record-breaking hit series Ginny and Georgia. He also co-created and was a co-showrunner of ANC Network's all-Black original dramedy Send Help. Mike is also the founder of Black Boy Rights Media, which is home to the Black Boy Rights / Black Girl Rights Mentorship Initiative for aspiring Black writers. Mike, what do you want to shout out?
First of all, thank you for that introduction. I want to shout out not a person, but people that mind their business. Like, I love when you're able to just take care of yourself and worry about what you have going on, and people that aren't like trying to be a troll or like looking at what someone else is doing or like or downing someone else, but more so just minding their business and getting into themselves and getting into like their own bag. I love that type of person.
You know what? They don't get enough love.
They don't.
Because
they really don't.
Arguably, a lot of the bullshit we're in right now is because there's too many people doing way too much
in other people's business. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to be in other people's business today for the podcast, but this is work.
Present company excluded.
This is work.
Well, I'm
but
so glad
otherwise, mind your business.
I'm so glad we're all here today. But for me, this week, my recommendation, what's given me joy, I want to shout out an indie creator. I feel like I've been shouting out previously more sort of like mainstream shows or things, but I decided, no, you know what? I'm gonna focus on indie creators. So I'm gonna shout out Carolyn Renard's short film Unbraided. Incredible.
I
Yeah.
know Carolyn.
Yeah, Carolyn's a
She's
WGA
Haitian, too.
writer. She is?
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
We
This
out
is a
here.
Haitian American theme. Carolyn, I got acquainted with during the WGA strike because I think she was maybe a strike captain. And we're, friends on TikTok. All of a sudden, I was like, unbraided. I've got a short film. I was like, let me click on that. So funny, so good. It's written and directed by Carolyn. It's hard jokes. It's about, two young women figuring it out. It's giving a little bit one of them days, as a recent reference, but it's also like hard jokes with little silliness. It's this woman who's has to like fly out to go to this wedding, and she's gonna run into her ex, but her hair is totally not done, and her regular person who braids her hair has like ditched her, so she's on this like 12 hours of trying to figure out how to get it done.
That
Okay.
is so real. I've seen so many of those on like TikTok videos like that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Could never be me though, because I would have canceled.
Ooh.
To like not go to the
Not
wedding.
not coming. My
Yeah.
hair person can't. Oh, child. Mm-mm.
So Carolyn, I
Love
was like,
that.
this is so nice. You know what? Okay, not to be like that, but when you meet someone and they're like, I'm a writer or I'm a creative, and then you're like, oh, she's cool or they're cool, but then like you never seen their work, and then finally when you see their work, it's like, I don't like it. That's the worst. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Generally,
This
though,
was not that.
no. Generally, though, when I vibe with someone, they tend to have like good work,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so that's nice. When you're like, oh, I get to see
Yeah.
something you did, and it's like really great.
She's great. She's awesome. Bubbly personality.
Yes.
She's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, she was out here really, really keeping the morale up during the WJ writer strike.
Oh yeah, she was.
Ugh. So, Carolyn Renard, shout out to you. Number 1, podcast updates. We are growing, okay? The future is supporting independent creators.
Yes.
And, I know I didn't add it to the full agenda, but in terms of podcast updates, I've just been really struggling with full transparency, how many like bummer topics I want to include
Yeah.
in the agenda, because so many things are a bummer. Like, for example, I could have included all of the like nonstop immigration kidnappings that have been happening. Like there's like every
Right.
other day, there's like some really depressing, upsetting video of like some woman getting, like grabbed away from her baby,
Yeah.
with like the whole neighborhood watching and yelling at like, ICE agents, and or the fact that like, Dump signed this executive order that allowed nearly 500 local police and law enforcement agencies to become deputized, to be federally allowed to essentially be snitches and be agents of ICE
Yeah.
Yeah.
without being ICE agents. Like, that shit is so fucked up. It's so scary. And it's like, I don't know what else to say other than that. And it's like, we can make that a whole agenda item for this podcast, but it'll frankly just be me yelling and crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like, militarizing the police, but on a more extreme level, militarizing just public citizens. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
And everyone feels emboldened to say like, "Hey, this person's illegal. Let me get them out." When you have no sort of legal bounds to even detain that individual or get them into trouble, it's insane.
This is some fascist shit when you're just like officially allowing people to snitch on you.
I mean, it's taking me back to slavery, like being from the deep South myself and, having regular citizens be able to, police the neighborhood, who they wanted in, who they wanted out, sundown towns, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like really taking us back quite a bit.
What I think is rich is the fact that, there's a lot of people who are like, how can this happen? How can this happen in America?
Been happening. Been happening, girl.
But I feel like people are becoming more and more aware of like this ugly side that was of America that was so well hidden to a lot of people.
I don't know about that. I feel like people have always been aware. I think part of the issue this time around are that people can't see past their own nose. Like
Oh.
everyone's going through it, or well, not everyone, because the rich are not going through it as much.
Yeah.
But like, lower income, the middle class,
Yep.
poor individuals are going throughout their day just trying to figure out how they're going to survive,
Yeah.
let alone trying to figure out how it could work for them as a whole. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of it. I don't think people are less sensitive to what's going on in the world so much as, or what's going on in America, so much as just them trying to figure out what they're going to do
I
that
know.
day, how they are going to eat that day, you know?
It's priorities, and that's how they get us.
Yeah.
They get us by distracting us with having to survive.
For
Mhm.
sure.
And then we can't organize ourselves.
Yes,
And
for
rise up.
sure.
So anyway, that's just one of my my recent frustrations with this podcast. It's like, how much do we just get full on into some of this stuff, you know? So we'll see. I don't know. I'm getting feedback. You know, our sinners conversation was really good. It was kind of a Black Asian deep dive, and I think that was like encouraging because it reminded me of how people lack that
Mm.
kind of conversation
Yeah.
sometimes, right? So that was good. We'll see. It's a new podcast. So. But no, I've been loving the support, so thank you so much. Let's go to number 2.
Yeah.
Being a single mom, I cannot identify, but
Speaking of distractions.
what should we talk about? That's my question to you. What should we talk about, Jazmyn?
Well, you know, I love being a mom. I've always wanted to be a mom, but if one thing being a mom is, it's a big distraction when you have things to do. Or, you know, I was even thinking about talking to my friend about like, oh, I wish I could do like make more political change, but when you have kids, it's hard to do that, and I think that's why they want to push for you to have children. They are a big they consume a lot of your time. If you have kids, you can't organize. I know mom friends who still going to Target. Girl, what? She's like, please, I have 3 kids. I'm like, I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? But she's
real.
like,
I get
please,
it.
please. I what am I supposed to do? So it's kind of like it's a really tough spot to be in. So I have one. I'll never give birth again.
The
Zoom in
pause
on the
after, I was like,
face.
I said what I said.
Okay.
How old's
well, I
how old's
get
your
it.
kid?
3.
3. And of course, what a miracle.
Yes.
What a joy.
What a joy.
Life. You
Mhm.
gave life. You
Mhm.
receive it every day.
Yeah.
But
Done.
Okay, well,
But I do love being a mom, and I love my sweet baby.
yeah.
But yeah, I have to shout it from the mountaintops.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it.
I feel that.
it's interesting that you talked about like maybe a lack of organization, because I've always felt as though moms were always like task masters.
Mhm.
So I guess what's that been like for you, just in terms of like balancing that out? Because I have such a high respect for moms, you know, especially single moms, because they feel like it seems like everything is thrown at them and they are constantly dodging things and doing it seemingly successfully.
Yeah.
So for you, what's it been like in terms of just prioritizing, tasking, and just seemingly doing it all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's tough because I'm a comedian. You know, I'm a content creator. You know, I'm a writer. I want to get, you know, be in my creative bag, and you just can't do it as much. So it's constant realizing, you know, what your life is like now, you know,
Mhm.
and how can you just accept it and sort of continue to move forward and like sort of push forward with your creative endeavors. I think that's the toughest part for me. Listen, if you like have a 9 to 5, maybe my message isn't for you, but for me as a creative, it's kind of like, if I had another child, that would remove me from my creative endeavors even farther.
Yeah.
And that's my passion, you know,
Yeah.
like so I think I make it look easy to balance, and people are like, "Oh my God, you're killing it. You're killing it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I cry in the shower
Real.
at night,
Real.
midnight, because I'm up. That's my time to myself." Yeah.
That's
hear
real.
that.
Yeah.
That's vulnerable. If I was doing my self-help me show, which is a show that I used to do about self-care, for that vulnerability, I would have given you points.
You can still give them to me. Give me my points.
You know what? You deserve points.
Thank you.
Because that's real. I love crying when I'm alone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's the best time.
What if
The good release.
a little
Yes.
TikTok about a father and a child?
Oh.
I'm gonna cry at that.
Mm-hmm. You make noise like,
Oh,
I do.
I do ugly cries.
You do? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Corey sometimes sees them. And you date.
Yeah, I be dating, girl. Life's too short. I gotta get out here and enjoy my
Hello.
life.
But you know what? That's a real balance. I feel like, you know, the idea of like work and play, like when you think about it, it is true. Like, at least for me, I do the work so that I could feel fulfilled personally
Yeah.
and that I could spend good time. This podcast is like a little bit of an overlap of both. It's like, who do I want to spend time with for like an hour? but it's sort of work. And so I don't know. I just hope that like you have support.
I do.
Okay,
I
good.
have a great community. Yeah.
Oh,
I went to
Love that.
Australia for a week and for my birthday in March. So my mom, my
that's
parents,
true.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
that.
nice.
Oh yeah. I have a good community. So.
Shout out to the single moms out there. You know, holding up half the world by yourself.
Basically.
Yeah. So
It's the whole world. What am I saying? Half the world.
And the voting population.
That's true. I
Right.
mean, single
Okay.
moms, black women,
Black
period.
women. Period.
I hope you were able to get something off your chest.
Yeah, I was. My baby was also sick one day this week and they were home with me and it was
Okay.
unexpected. So that's why it was on my mind this week. Like I had to
Yeah.
forfeit I missed a meeting. I thought I cleared everything, but I actually missed a meeting that I had and he was like, "Hey." And I was like, "I'm so sorry." So I had to reschedule. But it was just on my mind this week.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we can move on, but it's you don't have to be a mom. But I think it's very powerful, all the small choices that moms have to make every day. And we have to respect that. Like, always choosing others before yourself. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And so, anyways.
The idea of having like being responsible for another human.
It's crazy. You got to
It's
clean their
wild.
ears.
I can barely take care of myself. Like,
Let's move on to number 3, 75 hard. The 75 hard challenge. It's honestly, I'm surprised when you said I did that because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to know anyone who did it because it sounds hard. It's called 75 hard for a reason. Why should we talk about the 75 hard challenge, Mike?
well, first of all, the way I was introduced to it, there are like 3 tiers. There was like 75 soft, 75 medium, 75 hard. I only knew of there being a hard, so when I heard of the other 2, I was like, "Oh, let me try this easy one."
Oh, so you did the soft one.
No, I did hard. I did the hard one. Because in my mind, I'm thinking I want the path of like least resistance. I want the easier path, and that was going to be the soft one. But I was encouraged by friends to attempt the hard one because you want to be able to achieve that
Okay.
if anything, because the soft one was like there are certain rules that were just things you should be doing anyway in your regular life.
Right. So it's more
Like
like
what?
let's define
was
75
like-
hard.
Okay, let's
So
let's
I have a
define
little
hard. Let's
I have a
define
little
hard.
like by the book definition of
Okay,
75
great,
hard and then
great.
you could tell us what you did.
Yes.
So 75 Hard is a mental toughness program created by Andy Frisella that lasts for 75 days, requiring participants to complete 5 daily tasks, follow a strict diet with no cheat meals, complete 2 45-minute workouts, drink a gallon of water, read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, and take a progress photo. If any task is missed, participants must restart the challenge from day 1.
Yep. I had 2 friends start over, and I was like,
Oof.
that's not gonna be me.
Oh,
So what
my
happened? What did you do?
Okay, so I did all that you listed. One of those workouts has to be an outdoor workout.
Right.
So I did an indoor workout and an outdoor workout. At times, my outdoor workout would be like walking for like 45 minutes. So like, let's be real, folks.
Okay.
Let's let's get these things done, but
Yeah.
let's not kill ourselves. And the hardest part was the gallon of water a day.
Oh.
That was the hardest part because I normally work out anyway, and I knocked out both of my workouts in the morning. So I would do my indoor workout, then an outdoor workout, and then I would start my day essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But the water was the toughest part because being someone who's also just working throughout the day, I'm like, oh, I have to drink my water, I have to drink this, da da da, to the point where
Uh-oh.
I think the first couple of weeks, I would probably finish my water at around 10, 11 p.m. Baby, I'm waking up at like 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning to use the bathroom and like
Yes.
just making it to the bathroom. But incredibly great for your skin. Like, got used to it. I started, finishing my water by like maybe 6 or 7. So we got much better at it. The hardest was like the first 4 weeks or so, and then it
Yeah.
just got incredibly easy because it became a habit. It became my thing.
Yeah, because 75 days is like 2.5 months.
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so did you also change how you ate? Because it's not included in here.
I did. Do you get to choose your own diet aside from what they say you can't have? So like no
Right.
fast food, things like that. So I had a high protein, low carb, high fiber diet,
Yes.
with like no fried food,
Yeah.
and it was great. Like I have felt great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the
If you want me
thing.
to provide a video, this is where we would say cue video of,
That's
my,
right.
Proof.
right, of my before and after.
That's right. We'll insert that right
Well,
there.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
do have to say that the 75 hard challenge, outside of your personal experience, is not without criticism,
Right.
because some of the complaints about this type of a lifestyle change that's so dramatic for a lot of people is that there's risk of injury, there's risk of burnout, and that it might not be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
And
What I
so,
discovered is that it is sustainable.
okay,
It just depends um how you do it, honestly. Like what your routine is, how you set up your routine. Being
right.
able to do both of my workouts in the morning before I start my day is great. I feel as though waking up at like 5 or 6 is the best for you, especially for a person who has a long work day. It's better to start as early as possible. So
Yeah.
those things like really worked for me. So you just have to find what works for you.
Yeah. Now, not to be like that though, but you are having some back pain.
Yes.
So
Okay.
let's just throw that in
Okay.
there.
Okay. So I am having some back pain because of a lift that that went wrong. I was like,
Ugh.
lifting a bar, like a deadlift that went wrong. But that could happen anytime.
No, that's true. That is
You
a
know what I
risk of
mean?
just working out
Yeah,
regularly, for
yeah.
sure.
So
Okay. Just
that
throwing
could
that out
happen
there.
at any
Just throwing that
time.
out there. But you also said just in case you can't be responsible for what you talk about today because you are in a little bit of pain.
Absolutely. Can you curse on here?
Yes, of course.
Okay, yeah.
This is I mark this as explicit. It's fine. We could be free.
I'm just glad you can't see me from like the top down because I'm definitely sitting in all types of shapes.
Yeah.
And
So
like right now.
I appreciate you coming out with being in pain and stuff, but so what were some of the benefits for you other than good skin?
Waking up earlier, just a better routine overall. I felt better. Energy was up. Energy has been up. Um, and my eating habits have changed. One thing that I will say though about my eating habits, I've never been one to like enjoy certain items. Like I'll say, like like the cuties, like the oranges. I always hated them since I was a kid. Hated them, but after 75 hard, I love them. It's like
Why?
I eat bags of them all the time.
Why?
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, and I don't know how like my palate has kind of like changed to certain things. After 75 hard ended, I was like, it's probably like a week or so after. I was like, I'll get Popeyes. I haven't had Popeyes in forever.
Uh-huh.
I was like, this is disgusting. Like
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like how this is making me feel.
Yeah.
Did I eat it? Yes.
All of it.
I ate it, all of it. But afterwards, I was like, "Oh, I don't like this feeling," and
Yeah.
I did not crave to go back to that feeling.
Ooh.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, oh, "Okay, I can do without this."
Yeah.
For sure. So certain things like that really kind of like changed the way that I see food, think about food,
Yeah.
and just eat overall.
I have a question though. If you're waking up at 5 or 6 a.m., what time did you go to bed?
I'd go to bed around like midnight, but that's like because of work. You know what I mean?
And was that okay for you?
Yeah, like I'm good off of like 5 hours.
Or do you have a lifetime of a habit of working out regularly during the week?
Before 75 hard, I worked out pretty
Yeah.
regularly. I'd say like 4 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
So
So I feel like
working out every day wasn't hard.
yes, I feel like that's the challenge with 75 hard is that people will go from not that to 75 hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the way that you're like, yeah, I decided to eat like high protein, high fiber. Some people, they all of a sudden they're eating fiber and they're all fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even know what that means. They don't even know what high protein, high fiber. My dad got a colonoscopy. My mom was like, I think I'm gonna take him to get a steak after that. Girl, what?
A steak.
Yeah, like
All
some
right.
people just don't know. I was like, that's defeating the purpose. And
They're
she's
like, the gristle, that's fiber, right?
That is
If you go to the
funny.
colonoscopy, you figured out everything's all right, so I can
Right, like I can go get this steak.
I'm get the steak.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my
Clean
goodness.
bill of health.
Reward.
Let's go. Reward.
No,
Yeah.
but I hear you. Yeah,
That's for some people because
Yeah.
this is what happens. Some people who eat not a lot of fiber in their life, maybe a lot of fast food, all of a sudden they're like, oh, I guess I gotta eat fiber, and then they go, oh, here's a bowl of broccoli or something, and they're like, ooh, that did not sit well with me. I guess this isn't good for me. Well, you're like, no, fool. It's because your body's not used to it because it was used to fast food. So after you eat more fiber, your body's gonna get used to it.
Yeah.
I heard that like you should eat based on your blood type. Have you guys heard
That's
that
a
before?
thing.
that.
Is that
Yeah,
a
that's an
thing?
Asian thing too.
Oh,
There's
is
a whole
it?
book about it, right? Eat right for your blood type.
Yeah.
If I'm O negative, I'm supposed to be a carnivore.
But he's a
Really?
vegetarian. I know.
Yeah. So I'm messing with my blood
I
type.
need to
all
find
day.
out what my blood type is because I don't know.
Yeah. That's an action item. That's an action item for,
Yeah,
for
action
you
item.
to
Me
write
too,
that
What is
because
my
I
blood
don't know
type?
what mine
I'm
is.
like, I have no idea.
I like the action items because I always get inspired. You know what I mean? I always get inspired.
What is your blood type?
My mom just told me that I'm the same as my dad's.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know his either, though.
All right. Well, you know what? Kudos to you, Mike Gauyo. We're showing that before and after. You stepped up your healthy lifestyle. You maintained it. You didn't have to reset it. I just discovered that I have high triglycerides and high cholesterol. So my ass is not eating bagels and cream cheese anymore. My ass is not going to drink as much anymore, probably zero.
I hear you.
No little sweet treats.
I hear you.
No little Korean barbecue.
Oh.
Damn.
Well, in moderation, just tiny.
No chicken skin. No chicken skin. No chicken skin. I have a little tub of chicken fat that I saved. I was like, I can't cook with that anymore.
No.
Okay, the chicken fat went a little too far. I was with you with the chicken skins, but chicken fat.
Chicken fat, do you cook?
You know what? Not as often as someone who might cook with
Save chicken fat.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I mean, Jenny, come on now. Like, you just do better, but you don't have to cut out everything.
Yeah,
that's
don't do
my
that.
personality.
Don't do
like,
that,
don't,
yeah.
don't.
I won't cut out everything. I just need to reset my little mini 75 medium.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear that.
And then we'll see what happens in my next little thing. Because I don't want to go down like that. I don't want to go down with extra plaque in my blood vessels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've known very highly stressed out. I used to work in politics. I know people who've already passed away from heart attacks.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's in my cohort who are like in their 30s or 40s who have passed away from heart attacks. Not to be grim, but like when you do high stress work in politics, you don't treat yourself well.
Yeah,
That gets to you.
it does.
So anyway, I'm out here trying to live the soft life.
I don't know, Jenny. The people that have passed away, are they Asian, Jenny? Like,
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Okay.
Why are you trying to talk about Asians like
I
that?
was low key
I'll
about
be
to,
like,
but I was like, oh,
we
damn,
know,
They're
like-
a
girl.
bunch of whiteys, and so we knew that. was gonna
Well, I
happen. They got
Black
bad
people
genes.
and white people, that stuff will take us down. If they
Yeah.
was black, I'd be like, listen, that's not.
No, you're right. There is a little epigenetic generational trauma that lives in our bones sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's some chronic diseases that happen more
For sure.
in certain races, for sure. I get you. But me, I'm going to do what I can.
Do what you
Okay, I'm going to do what I can.
hear
Okay.
that.
75 hard. Cheers to you. Number four. Ugh, let's get into this. I'm going to get mad. This is the one hard thing that I chose for us to talk about. And that's number 4, Shiloh Hendricks making money off of racism. You suggested this,
Yeah.
Jazmyn. What should we talk about?
Well, honestly, okay, so this lady was at the park with her son.
White lady.
A white lady was at the park with her son, and there was a black family at the park with their son, and the black boy apparently was probably playing with the white boy, and he took one of his toys, and the white mom came over, Shiloh, and called the black boy the N-word. And
What?
picked her
Multiple
son
times.
up.
Multiple
Multiple times, yeah. And they got it
Mind
on.
you, I'm hearing about this for the first time.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like,
Okay.
what?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody got this. Somebody took their camera out and started recording and started saying, "Hey,
It was
you
a black man who actually
a black
recorded
a
it.
black guy, yeah. Hey, you called this black boy the N-word. That's not okay." He's sort of following her, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't care. I'll say it again. Like, yeah." And she's unapologetic. So turns out she goes, this video blows up, and racists have donated over $600,000 to her, supporting
support her.
her.
Okay, you know what I saw? I saw the ranking tabs of racists who had donated to different folks, and I didn't know where it stemmed from. So it feels like it stemmed from
Oh,
this because I
really?
saw like rankings on like social media, and I was like, why are people doing this? And that I think it might be because of
Maybe because
that.
of that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So just a little more background too.
Yeah.
This happened in Minnesota.
Mm.
This happened around April 30th, the social media post. Shiloh Hendricks has said, we cannot and we will not live in fear.
Of what?
That was her statement about what happened. And as of Thursday afternoon, that's yesterday, she raised more than $754,000 of her $1 million goal. So she's even surpassed the 600K that you had heard about. So this is as of yesterday, $754,000. And most of it seems to be small contributions from anonymous supporters, ranging from $2,000 to $10,000. Others have been $14 and $88 in their figures, which are numbers with symbolic significance to white supremacists. So white supremacist folk hero is what she's become.
Yeah.
And in this, and it's so interesting. It's Sharmaik, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name. Sharmaik Omar is the one who filmed it. And now he's getting threats because
okay.
he's the one, he's a black man who shot the video. Right. And yeah, it's just really upsetting because we're in this era now where we're post cancel culture. What I love is I was reading about sort of the commentary around it, and I like this media critic Parker Malloy argued in her Present Age newsletter that there's this thing called virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Now they have vice signaling. So people who are considered where we previously considered fringe, like white supremacists, are out here becoming platform in a more mainstream way and celebrated by signaling their vice, their racism. So now there's vice signaling. So I'm going to perform this really grotesque racist behavior. Hopefully I'll go viral and there will be people to prop me up and give me money.
Yeah.
So now it's its own thing. Right. And I think you saw that with, you know who you saw it with. You saw it with Kyle Rittenhouse, Daniel Penny. Right. So these are people who are explicit, unapologetic white supremacists, and their vice signaling is considered admirable by these white supremacists. And people are closing ranks and supporting them. So that to me is what's fascinating about this. Other than the actual harm of what's happening, and it's so upsetting, is the fact that we're now in this cultural era where this is a thing. This is not just a one-off thing. It's like if I am explicitly racist. Recently, there was a viral video that went that Piers Morgan was interviewing fucking white supremacist racist Barbie, right? Remember?
Yeah.
What's her face? She was like a trad wife that said the N-word online, got canceled, but then now is like trying to leverage that into a whole thing. So she was on this talking head thing with Piers Morgan on the show, and she was like, "I think it's fine to say the N-word." He's like, "You think it's fine to say the N-word? That's despicable." She's like, he's like, yeah, "That means you're white supremacist." She's like, "Well, some people would call me that." And then in the end, she was like, "Yeah, I'm a white supremacist." Like,
and didn't he say something like "say it," like then say the word?
Oh, well, that was
and then
Mark Lamont Hill.
Yes,
Mark Lamont Hill was on there, and he's like,
He was
"No,
furious.
please do not tell her to say the N-word right now when I'm the only black man here, and it's obviously I would be the one harmed by this."
What angered me the most about that is how gleeful she was.
She was smirking.
Mark's reaction to it.
She was smirking.
I was like, oh my
And
God.
the white supremacists are eating it up.
They love it.
They love it because they want that audacity,
Yeah.
And it's, it just upsets me so much that we have to even have discourse about it.
Yeah, it's pretty upsetting. Like I was pretty upset by it, but I fear that I'm also a little bit desensitized. I fear that because when I first saw the video and it, it's viral, but I'm like, oh my God, this is so typical. But one of the highlights of the story is the Keandria Damone.
Yes.
I was watching her videos on TikTok and she was talking about how she has her own business, and racists actually tried to take down her business because she sells like shirts about about the patriarchy and about anti-racism. It's a black girl, so She said that racists tried to take down her business by attacking her payment processor, and it forced her to do research. So she figured out the payment processor for Shiloh's, all of her donations, and now she's trying to prevent her from getting payments.
Listen.
So.
Thanks for the education, basically. Right. Keandria was like, oh, now I know. I'm going to use this tool against you.
Yeah.
Because the fundraisers not GoFundMe. It's like this Christian nationalist funding site.
Yeah.
And so you had to go, apparently, according to Keandria, you had to go into the HTML and the coding to see who is the actual payment processor that they use on the back end. And it turns out it's Square. So don't use Square.
It's crazy, too. It started with like 50,000 is what she was asking for. And then she got it so fast that she upped it to $1 million.
Yeah.
Because she was like, "Oh, wait a second, this
Right.
this could pay out." Yeah. And so many of the payments are for $17.76 for $17.76 or for $14.88.
Yeah.
And the $14.88 is, if you're not familiar with this, 14 is a big white supremacist call out that is about the 14 words, which is a slogan that they utilize in white supremacy, which is, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children, right? Like that's the 14 words. And so it's like listed in the Anti-Defamation League and all this, there's a bunch of places that call out hate speech. And then the 88 is for Heil Hitler, is that because it's a double H. Yeah.
Right.
H,
Really?
eighth letter of the alphabet. So yeah.
That
And
is
so there you'll
wild.
see like a lot of these white supremacists will have 1488 tattooed on themselves. Like that's a whole thing.
Right.
It's a dog whistle.
I hate that for me because I'm Chinese and we love 88. 88 is a good fortune, auspicious number. So don't fuck that up for us, white supremacists. Okay, no.
It's been auspicious way more than it was for
Chinese
maybe the last
culture.
1,000 years.
Chinese culture has outlived and outlasted any white supremacist. So fuck y'all.
No, absolutely.
That's
That
facts.
oh my god, that reminds me of what that it was like a I think he was like a Chinese correspondent or some kind of like Chinese diplomat, and he was talking about the tariffs
Yeah.
and how Trump, is saying he wants to triple, quadruple the tariffs on China.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, it doesn't matter what you do, like, we won't accept your tariffs. And although America might be 15% of our economic kind of like, input, we were here thousands of years before you, and we'll be here
Right.
thousands of years after
I
you.
saw
was
that.
I saw
like,
that video.
Oh, you ate that.
Yeah.
I was like, you ate that, sir.
Listen,
did.
I as a Chinese Taiwanese person, I know culturally how I was taught to have a little bit of Chinese supremacy.
You got to. Everybody got a little bit of supremacy.
Let's move on. I know we could talk about this forever, but I'm glad we're talking about it because it's pissed off a lot of people, and we need to vent about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That is wild.
I hate
Totally.
it. Hate it. Number 5. Well, let's just cover this real quick because I do want to get to the Met Gala.
Oh,
American Pope, the conclave has chosen. I brought this up because my ass loved the movie Conclave.
oh.
God, let me tell you, if you haven't seen, have you seen Conclave?
It yet. I
You've-
haven't,
seen it.
I
Okay,
haven't seen it yet.
listen, didn't grow up religious, not into the Catholic Church at all.
Yeah, I
But
gotta
for
put that on.
filmmaking purposes, it is a fun ride. Because imagine you think it's stuffy, but you sit there and you're like, oh, this is like Traders. Do you know Traders on Peacock?
Yeah.
Yes, I love traders.
It's about scheming. It's about getting votes. It's juicy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like juicy with like highly graphical robes.
Oh, it's
You
just
know?
a bunch of catty bitches, well dressed, throwing shade. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So it is fun. It is fun. And
I
it's
love
really
it.
well made as a film. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like beautiful and the shots are done in a way to really communicate the vibes. Like it really keeps you keeps the tension going because you're like, ooh, who are they gonna vote for? Ooh, who are they gonna portray?
Oh, I love that.
Pope Leo from Chicago.
Who has Haitian roots?
Does he?
Yeah,
Yes!
his grandfather was Haitian. Mm-hmm.
Robert Prevost, now will be known as Pope Leo the 14th, is known as the Saint of the North in Peru for his closeness to the poor, has worked in Haiti,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, what's interesting when I heard about this is on social media, Pope Leo has been critical of the Dump administration and J.D. Vance. But, however, he's not queer friendly. So that's a bummer.
Got it.
That was like, but I think that was based on like tweets from 10 years ago or something like that. And he was Pope Francis's bestie, I think, right? And so they were saying that like they were homies. And so that maybe over time he has actually eased up his views on it because he's good with immigrants. He's against the MAGA folk,
Yeah.
but we're missing him on some, they give it and they take it away.
So we'll see.
Gotcha.
We'll see.
I thought the thing is, it's interesting that he was a long shot, and then because that's what I had heard, that he
Oh,
was
I
a
didn't know
long
that.
shot for the job, and then gets it, and the fact that it's the first American.
Yes,
yeah.
it's very special. So when you watch Conclave, it'll be that much more exciting
Oh.
because you
Okay.
see literally how they choose it. Like that,
Okay.
it shows like the whole like campaigning and
Wow.
votes. It's very fun. I don't know. I don't know. I love that kind of a movie because I was like, oh, it's so well made and it's cute. I don't
It's
know.
Amazon. It's on
Um,
Amazon, I think.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
We'll find it for you. We'll find it for you.
I don't know anything about the Pope.
But you know, this
I
is
read about him, but I was just kind of like, oh, he looks like the last one.
this is what. Let me throw it out here for this. This is
Same
why
name
I.
too, I think.
What's that?
He's also a Francis. That's why they had to call him Leo.
Oh.
No, I read that he chose Leo. Well, they are
choose it
speculating.
themselves.
They renamed themselves
okay.
to give homage to previous Leo
okay,
popes,
got it,
which is very popular. But
Got it.
So I want to talk about this because not because I care about the Pope that much, but because I love Conclave. But also because the Pope represents a leader for so many people, especially who are Christian and who have politics that unfortunately I do not like sometimes.
yeah,
And so for me, I love that there might be a more progressive Pope.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It sets the tone for the entire Catholic Church.
It does. It does. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, Pope Leo.
Plus the fact that the Chicago got a pope before they got a 4,000-yard passer is fantastic.
Wow, this man and
Well-
his NFL love.
Well,
Okay, we're gonna
Bear
move
down,
on.
I
We're
hear
gonna
ya.
move
I
on.
hear ya.
This is the wrong audience for an NFL joke. Okay?
yeah. I don't watch soccer.
I tried to hang.
Just
I
not.
was like,
This is just shade
tried.
back home.
Okay. Number 6, the Met Gala, and why does it matter? I really wanted to talk about the Met Gala because it is something that is so visual, such pageantry. We put so much money and attention media-wise on it. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, do we care about that right now? It's really giving Hunger Games in a time like this. You know? But beautiful gowns. You know,
Beautiful
beautiful gowns.
gowns.
Beautiful.
Beautiful gown.
Visually delicious.
For those who
Most.
for those who
ma-
do
Some.
yeah,
Some. Yeah.
So what my goal in this is not necessarily to have to review the fashion because other people are going to do that for
Yeah.
us. You know, this is why I want to talk about it. Here's some basic information. It took place on May 5th. The theme is super fine tailoring black style and was inspired by Monica L. Miller's 2009 book, quote, Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Styling of Black Diasporic Identity, which focuses on Black dandyism and the importance of clothing and style in shaping Black identities. This theme coincides with the Costume Institute's spring exhibition of the same name. The dress code was tailored for you. And for me, obviously, for representational purposes, I love an exploration and a platforming of Black culture because that is American culture, especially in something as elitist as fashion. You know what I'm saying? Or like fundraising for art, right? I think what the other thing that was fascinating is they chose dandyism because I don't know if that's a term that most people know about,
Yeah.
right? And then when I thought about it, I was like, what's my introduction to dandyism, much less Black dandyism? And this might be a deep cut or it might just give away certain things, but do you remember Farnsworth?
Bentley?
Diddy's
Mhm.
Farnsworth Bentley?
Yeah.
Diddy's
Yeah.
Umbrella Man?
Dandy.
Attaché?
Yeah.
That was my first exposure to who is this person and why is he like this? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
I hear what you're saying. I think because I really enjoy fashion and I try to follow it for
Yeah.
the most part. Like dandy is something that was familiar to me.
Yeah.
And I, as far like there's Farnsworth Bentley, of course, but there's
Mhm.
also like going to like the Vouv, like Clicquot, like horse racing thing, which is like an
Kentucky
annual
Derby.
Kentucky
Yes,
Derby, which is like
yes.
an annual thing that
That's
takes
right.
place. So I was really excited for
Yeah.
the theme.
Right.
I thought it was great for the folks who did it right.
Right. So that's what we should talk about because I also did a little more research about
Yeah.
dandyism. And I happened upon this really interesting writer and creator and researcher who also works on dandyism, Black dandyism, and who has collaborated often with Monica L. Miller. And this is what she said Her name is Chantrell P. Lewis. She's based out of Philadelphia, and she's a founder and curator of the Dandelion Project and author of Dandelion, the Black Dandy, and Street Style. And this is how she describes it. She said, Black dandies are using their bodies and their self-styling as a way to express how they want to be seen. So she spoke to CNN, and when she was asked, how do you define dandyism? She said, Black dandyism has been a historical, socio-political movement where Black people, men, women, trans men, take traditional European style and mix it with African diasporic sensibilities. And when she was asked, who do you think embodied the theme best at the Met Gala? She goes, that's tough. African sensibilities were missing. She was trying to be polite about it.
Right.
So she has more of a socio-political perspective, obviously.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But she loves, Tiana Taylor,
Yeah.
Tracy
was
Ellis
great.
Ross, Andre 3000 was interesting.
Janelle
But
Monáe was amazing.
yeah, but she was
Yeah.
saying that her criticism was that they lean more into the classical European stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Suiting, tuxes,
Yeah.
right? 3-piece suits, all of that, which is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's in and of itself is beautiful. But I just found it interesting that Chantrell P. Lewis was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it could have been deeper, is basically what she was trying to
It
say.
could have been.
Yes.
People leaned away from color, which
Yes. Very black and white and
Dandy
gray.
is
That
very
was
colorful
disappointing.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't understand that.
I think like African or Caribbean parrots almost in these like super bright colors and
Oh,
stuff. That's a
yeah.
lot of the dandyism that I've seen from before and stuff. It comes out like really vibrant.
Vibrant colors.
And
yeah.
it feels like at the Met Gala, a lot of things were very like color palette wise was a lot more toned down and subtle and stuff. And it was more about the tailoring,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is interesting.
Yeah. For you, what did it mean to you to observe the Black dandyism theme?
For me, I actually didn't know what dandyism was until I heard about the Met like several months ago. I feel like I never know what the themes mean and I have to look them up. But I feel like once I read about it, what it meant, I was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. Like this reminds me of like, like just like family culture, growing up watching Black films and just the over the top dressing of our uncles on a Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, so I was excited to see. I really was underwhelmed by a lot of the fashion.
Yeah.
I didn't know that dandyism also was ideally meant to incorporate some of that diaspora, because I think when I thought about it, I really did think about American culture. So, I was most excited about Teyana Taylor, honestly. That was my
Yeah, she
favorite
looked
look.
amazing.
I have been going on a rant about the fact that I was really disappointed in Meg Thee Stallion's look, because I'm like, this is your opportunity to really dress like a pimp. Like I wanted to see her full purple suit,
In a suit.
goldfish in the shoe,
that.
gold teeth. I really wanted to see some heavy American culture, because that's what she raps about.
Yeah.
And we just didn't get that. So, other than that, I'm like, yeah, I moved on.
Beautiful gowns.
I loved a
Beautiful
lot
gowns.
of like the accessorizing of
Okay.
like the grill,
Yeah.
or different brooches, pins, clocks were being used, like
Yeah.
monocles, like things like that. I thought that was great. I loved that Tiana and Janelle both had costume designers design their outfits, which feels like for an event like the Met, you should have like a costume designer involved, because it's such a event. It's such a I wouldn't even say spectacle, more so than like it's a performance. The
Yeah.
Met is
Yeah.
a performance.
Yeah.
know?
Rather than say a fashion house.
Yeah, mind
Proper
you.
tailor. Yeah.
Yeah, and both Oscar-winning costume designers too.
Oh,
Ruth
yeah.
Carter and Paul Tazwell were both Oscar winners. So I thought they both looked amazing. Now the theme, I loved it. I loved the theme. I loved the fact they were, celebrating Black men specifically, and dandyism. I thought was great. And to your point about not seeing as much of it as you would have liked, I think part of it's because, the Met is still a predominantly non-Black Caucasian event. So it was, seeing a lot of individuals that weren't necessarily dressed in theme, or it was, I think there were three components to it, three parts to it. There are folks who didn't care as much, and there will always be folks, no matter the year or theme, that just don't care as much. Then there are the individuals who don't want to appropriate, so they're too
Yes.
fearful of going in a certain direction because they might be targeted as like, someone doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
And then there's the lack of education
Yeah.
for certain designers just not knowing enough about the theme
Ugh.
to execute it well. And that's where, you know,
You had time though.
so okay, I loved Meg's look. Meg always looks amazing. She always looks stunning. I thought the hair was fantastic. I
Yeah.
thought the outfit was great. The coat was great. My only thing is maybe wanting her to go further or simply.
Well. Look at that. You just caught the end of the episode. If you want to hear the entire episode uncut, full, extended, powerful, subscribe to jennyyang.substack.com. Paid subscribers keep me talking my shit and get the full cut plus bonus material. Like, once again, this is just one take. I'm not going to do this over again. Being a free Substack subscriber is also fun too. You get access to our subscriber only chat area where you can start threads with me and other subscribers about each episode, and we can chat about the wild news of the world with a like-minded community. So leave a cute voicemail or text at 323-250-3589 to get on next week's podcast agenda. And please do me a favor and be sure to follow, rate, and review wherever you listen to this podcast. If you write a cute review, we might just read it on the air. Thank you. Oh, and see you next week. My special guests will be the San Francisco Chronicle newspaper's food critic, Soleil Ho, and, drumroll please, my mama. Yes, Mama Yang. It's a week late for this to be like a Mother's Day episode, but better late than never. I'm going to be on location and we're going to be recording it in San Francisco. So check that out next week. But I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this one. Yeah. Okay, now it's getting awkward. I went off script and I'm not enunciating. I hope you had a great day. Have a great day. I hope you feel loved and cherished and that you deserve all the good things in the world. Okay, bye.